Hi everyone, this is Abrar. Welcome to Abrar Knowledge channel. Today's topic is completely different. It's out of the box topic. The topic is how to be creative. When you say creative, how to become a creative person and all that. So this topic is very useful for all the college goer, school goer, and all the students and everybody. And please pay attention to it. You will get the enlightenment and fruitful knowledge about how to become a creative person. So let's learn that what are the pillars we're gonna discuss today. Number one, we're going to talk about what is creativity and how the word creativity come from, where does it come from, and what does it mean, and all that. Where does it stem? Basically, which part of the brain, the ideas come from, and all that. What is the root cause of lagging the creativity? If a person lacks the creativity, what are the fundamental root causes, and how these root causes can overcome? How to become a creative person, and two short and sweet stories. I'm going to wrap up this topic with these two short and sweet stories as such. Please stay tuned till the end. You will get a fruitful knowledge about this topic. So let's learn what is creativity. Creativity is a phenomena whereby something new and in some way valuable is created. Creativity comes from the Latin word or Latin term called creve, which means to make. So if you do that, you might have seen that very often. You might have heard this term called out of box thinking. That means we need to think something differently, right? So if you always, there is a quote, a small quote, if you always think the way you always thought, you will always get what you have always got, right? In order to be different, in order to be successful person, in order to be a completely brand new or very successful person, what we need to have is we need to we need to have a great quality called creativity. Where does the creativity happen? How does it happen? So in the brain, there is a right brain and the left brain. Left brain, what it does is it does all the analysis. It take care the languages, logic, return, memory. All these are left brain. If you look at the right brain, it is like music, art, or anything 3D form, holistic, insight, imagination. All these are mainly part in the right brain. How we need to synthesize these things? So we're going to talk about very important thing. What are the lack? What is the root causes or root cause of lack of creativity? Before I go and discuss about this one, I would like to talk about this a little bit of this one. Let me zoom in. So when you see any information, when you read or when you see any information, there are five senses are important, like visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory, like smell and taste and all that. So these five, what it does is the minute you just see that, for example, you wanted to write actually, that means you how to have a visual system, right? So that means filter, memory, decision, values, belief, distortion, generalizations, deletion, meta programs all happen. And then it goes further layer. It's called model IR, pictures, sounds, feelings, smells. That's what we talked about. Smell, taste, and self-talk and all that. How our mind connects to that information and receive the information, capture the information, get registered, process it, and all that. So this is basic thing, right? So one of the what we need to do is this picture I've taken from the book called Presenting Magically by Tad James and David Shepard. Very nice book. And this is NLP book. They related to NLP, neuro linguistic program. And you take a look on this one. It talks in detail about these five chapters. So first, let's talk about the root cause. The root cause number one is attention to detail. So the person is lagging on creativity. That means number one root cause is attention to detail. So let me give you an example. Nowadays, all the since due to COVID-19 situation, all the education, everything are happening remotely. That means we are addicted to mobile, right? So we don't see any information in detail. We just keep flipping. So what happened actually, like we don't see anything in detail. What will happen? The attention to detail quality will get lost. When it gets lost, we will not be able to pass the enough signals to the brain, and will not be able to remember, will not be able to take any action from it. So what we have to do is we have to minimize using Facebook, using mobile in particular. And so that so if you wanted to see that you don't need to flip, let's say in Facebook you don't need to flip all 100 posts. You can read only 5 posts. Make sure that all 5 posts you have completely read it. So that what will happen, you process your brain requires some amount of time to process, to signalate and all that, right? So this is very important. So attention to detail is very important. The same thing, if you keep doing in the Facebook, the same thing, the logical, the same pattern can also go in your education, everything. And in education also, you will not be able, if you have a 10 lines are given, so 10 lines you will not have patience to read it. So you will just keep looking at these things, and if you're not getting it, you will just easily give up, right? So attention to detail is very, very fundamental and important attributes in order to have a memory strength. Number one. Number two is not having patience to go through the details, right? So that is also very, we have to avoid it. So anything you need to do, we need to give more focus and get this attention. Need everything fast. That means that is also a problem, right? So what we need to do is, so we need to observe things, right? Lack of big picture visibility. Like sometimes why the person is not creative, because they may not know where they want to go, what they want to accomplish and all that, right? Missing the big picture, lack of autonomy. That means that is also one of the reasons. So number one reason is attention to detail, right? So how to become a creative? So what we can do is we can have a picture, we can draw a picture, do something new, and pursue your hobby, pursue your skills, create right environment, stop thinking, get going. So everything you can just start implementing it. Sketch your thoughts, and be the grown-up kid. 30 circle test. 30 circle test meaning like you wanted to, you can get together with the friends, you can share the ideas, exchange the notes, and thereby you can enhance your proficiency in anything in general, when it comes to skills or general knowledge and role play and six hat technique, read books, listen to motivational stories as such. So these are all the many ways we can do it. For example, let's say in this image, let's say you wanted to only watch TV, and you just think that I will get enough knowledge and all that. No, it doesn't work that way. So you have to pursue skills in a different ways, meaning reading the books and pursuing your hobbies and all that, so that you will have enough knowledge handy with you, right? So this is, I'm not going to go through this slide in detail, but this is 31 ways to be creative. So I'm going to go through in a few line items, like do what you are under skills to do. Like you are under skills to do, that means you can develop further and you can improve upon. Shed defense mentality and visualize, do faster than you doubt, and all allow randomness and dive deep, better than perfect. And anything, you do not look for the outcome, you do not look for the consequences, everything you just do it. And thereby you can also have a great creativity and collaborate, and be accept for the, even if you are wrong, accept for it, and then have a learn from it and go on. So why do we need a creativity? Is because creativity is money, creativity leads to fame, Creativity is fun. Creativity leads to better life. So take an example of Rahman, or anything you talked about a Bluetooth, right? So all these are basically creativity, right? Creativity is skill to be learned, practice, developed, just like any other. Juggling takes a practice, and so does surfing, coding, driving a car. Just like you wanted to surf or code or driving a car, it takes a little bit time. Like you need to you in the beginning you will juggle around, right? So the same thing, creativity also, it doesn't, you cannot learn overnight. It takes time. Creativity is no different. The more you make creativity part of your daily life, the more it will grow. So I would like to finish off this presentation by quoting small two stories, which I have already done it, but quickly I wanted to connect this subject and have a read it for you. The Intelligent Boy and the Caliph. Ahmad was a small boy from a poor family. All peoples, elders, men, women, liked him for his acumen and intelligence. His name became famous. The word of him reached the Caliph of Harun al-Rashid. He ordered that Ahmad be brought to his palace in Baghdad. In the welcoming hall, in the presence of all the minister, he turned to him and asked, "What do you want me to give you?" "I want you to give me an advice and your knowledge, so I can become wise like you," Ahmad said. The Caliph smiled and ordered to be brought rings made of gold, rings made of silver. Put them in front of the boy and said to him, "What is the thing that you like the most? Choose whatever you want." Two options being given, ring and silver, coin, and then you just choose what you like. The Khalif is what I like the most, but I will choose these rings. He put his hands on the golden rings. The Khalif laughed when he heard his wise answer. He gave him the rings and instructed the minister to take care of his education and studies until he became a man. Another story, this story is slightly longer, but I will quickly read it out for you. The same story I covered up in the storytelling series also as well. But this is something very profound, very, I like this story. I just wanted to quickly read it out for you. Don't sell cheap. Maybe I'll quickly make it bigger for you. One time, a king and his minister went out roaming the country and passed by an old farmer, advanced in age, very old age, working on his land. The king said, "Peace be upon you." The farmer said, "And upon you too, O king." "What happened to the far?" Look at the language used here. "What happened to the far?" asked the king. "The far became close," answered the farmer, "and the light became heavy. The group dispersed, and the two asked the king. The two became three," answered the farmer. "And don't sell cheap," said the king. So he advised, basically he listened to this one and he said, "Don't sell cheap," said the king, "and you as you order, my lord." Then the king and the minister left the farmer, returning to their palace. On the way, the minister said to the king, "Your conversation with the farmer was very figurative. I didn't understand it." The king was surprised at this minister's incomprehension and lack of common sense and said to him, "I will give you 3 days to explain to me what I said to the farmer and what he said to me. Otherwise, I will cut your head off." The minister was very scared and went to the farmer's house and said to the king, "Old farmer, explain to me the words that passed between you and the king." The farmer replied, saying, "I will explain the words to you for 100 dinar for each word." The minister was angry with the farmer and left. The following day, the minister returned to the farmer, but the farmer asked from him 200 dinar for each word. Now he developed double up the amount. The minister didn't agree and left. In the third day, his concern for his life increased and his fear intensified. So he set out to the farmer and asked from him to explain what he said. And then the minister began to plead the farmer to reduce the price. The farmer said, "Didn't you hear the king what he instructed me not to sell the cheap? This is the order from our Lord." So the last and final para is very interesting. And he said, when the farmer received the payment for his explanation, the minister asked him, "What is the meaning of the far became close?" "This is my sight, which is in my youth was far. I was able to see everything. Became an old, it became close." The next question. "What is the meaning of the light became heavy?" asked the minister. "This is my hearing, which was in my youth light and became in old age heavy." "What is the meaning of the group disperse?" "These are my teeth, which were in my youth as a group and became in adulthood separated after many fell out." "What is the meaning of two turning into three?" These are these are my two legs which are unable to hold me. I'm old, as you can see, so I use a can. The minister was pleased with the explanation of the old man and returned to the king happy and explained to him the meaning of the words. What then the king asked, "What remains of your money?" "Not much remained," replied the minister. So this is how the creativity, even when you talk, the creativity will develop. Even when you work, the smart ways you can work and all that. So thereby, so when you think from this line, so your creativity will definitely will boost up, and you will be amazed that how you will tackle the difficult situations, difficult scenarios, difficult job, everything much easier way. So be a creative person. So thank you so much. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. You have a nice day ahead.